The isolation of great minds. Throughout history, many great intellectuals such as Nikola Tesla, Isaac Newton, Blaise Pascal, Friedrich Nietzsche, and Arthur Schopenhauer shared a common trait. They socialized very little. Many highly intelligent individuals can relate to this, feeling drained rather than energized in social settings like parties or bars. Unlike others who find comfort in socializing, intellectuals often seek solitude, preferring to read, think, create, or simply enjoy their own company. This tendency is often misunderstood, but is deeply rooted in how their minds operate. Schopenhauer's view on society. Arthur Schopenhauer believed that the average person cannot bear solitude because they only feel content in the company of others. In contrast, an intellectual finds solace in isolation, as it allows them to connect with their true self. Schopenhauer viewed society as a grand illusion, an artificial construct designed to maintain stability and prevent individuals from confronting life's inherent suffering. He himself was once trapped in this illusion, only to later recognize its emptiness. Nietzsche's critique of herd morality. Expanding on Schopenhauer's ideas, Friedrich Nietzsche criticized what he called herd morality, arguing that society pressures individuals to conform to collective norms rather than fostering independent thought. According to Nietzsche, intellectuals recognize this deception and refuse to submit to shallow values. Rather than arrogance, their rejection of superficiality stems from a deep-seated distaste for meaningless discussions. Nietzsche himself would often leave conversations that lacked depth, as he found them intolerable. Why highly intelligent people struggle with socialization. Intelligent individuals do not reject social interaction entirely. Rather, they struggle with the lack of meaningful, thought-provoking conversations. Schopenhauer emphasized the importance of intellectual friction in discussions and advised intellectuals to limit excessive social interactions. Mundane conversations not only fail to stimulate their minds, but also drain their mental energy. Modern research supports this, showing that highly intelligent people experience heightened stress levels when forced into small talk, often displaying symptoms similar to anxiety. Their minds crave complexity, depth, and stimulation, qualities rarely found in casual social exchanges. The burden of intelligence in society. Although society preaches that intelligence is a gift, history and experience reveal that it often leads to rejection and resentment. Highly intelligent individuals frequently find themselves isolated, envied, or misunderstood, not due to arrogance, but because their intellect inadvertently highlights the limitations of others. This phenomenon can be seen in figures such as Chris Langan, a man with an IQ of 195, who struggled to fit in socially despite his extraordinary intelligence. Some intellectuals, like Diogenes the Cynic, outright rejected society, while others, like Nietzsche and Schopenhauer, resented its superficiality. Dostoevsky's literary characters often depict this struggle as they attempt to follow their own intellectual paths, but ultimately succumb to nihilism and depression. Society's rejection of intelligence. Intelligence often leads to alienation because it challenges societal norms and disrupts the status quo. People instinctively compare themselves to those who are smarter, which triggers feelings of discomfort and insecurity. Instead of striving for self-improvement, many react defensively by marginalizing or rejecting intellectuals. This pattern is evident throughout history. Socrates was sentenced to death for encouraging critical thinking. Nikola Tesla died in obscurity despite his groundbreaking contributions, and Albert Einstein faced skepticism before his theories gained acceptance. Ironically, overtly arrogant individuals sometimes face less backlash than those who are simply intelligent but unapologetically so. The hedgehog's dilemma, the double-edged sword of awareness. The hedgehog's dilemma metaphor explains why intellectuals struggle to engage with society. They crave connection but are often repelled by ignorance and superficiality. Just as hedgehogs cannot get too close without hurting one another, intellectuals find it difficult to interact with society without feeling alienated. Their heightened awareness is both a gift and a burden, granting them deep understanding while simultaneously severing their connection to the majority. This creates a paradox where intelligence isolates the very individuals who desire meaningful interactions. The psychological dangers of complete isolation. While solitude can be intellectually enriching, complete isolation is dangerous, leading to loneliness, depression, and existential dread. Even Schopenhauer, who strongly advocated for solitude, acknowledged that humans are social beings who require some level of interaction for psychological well-being. It is crucial to differentiate between solitude and loneliness. Solitude is a conscious choice that fosters self-growth and intellectual exploration. Loneliness is an involuntary state of suffering caused by a lack of meaningful connections. Prolonged loneliness can lead to self-destruction, highlighting the fact that even the most intelligent individual need companionship to maintain mental stability. Historical examples of social intellectuals. Despite the challenges of socialization, some of history's greatest minds successfully balanced solitude with meaningful interactions. Leonardo da Vinci, one of the most brilliant polymaths, was highly sociable and engaged with artists, patrons, and thinkers, while also retreating into solitude to work on his masterpieces. Similarly, Henry David Thoreau, despite his love for isolation, frequently exchanged ideas with other transcendentalists like Ralph Waldo Emerson. These figures exemplify how intellectuals can maintain both social engagement and deep introspection without compromising their integrity. As Philip Gilbert Hamilton aptly stated, we need society and we need solitude also, as we need summer and winter, day and night, exercise and rest. The art of selective socialization. Highly intelligent individuals must learn when and with whom to engage in social interactions. There is no need to constantly prove one's intelligence or participate in discussions where intellectual depth is neither appreciated nor necessary. Instead, the key is to seek out individuals who challenge and inspire intellectual growth, while also maintaining casual interactions with those who contribute to social well-being in different ways. Not every conversation needs to be profound. Sometimes light-hearted discussions serve as a necessary counterbalance to deep intellectual reflection. The smartest approach: balancing solitude and socialization. Walking the intellectual path alone can be mentally exhausting, often leading to overthinking and existential despair. Therefore, socialization should not be seen as a burden, but as a strategic choice to maintain mental equilibrium. The goal is not to blindly conform to society, but to integrate into it in a way that preserves intellectual integrity while avoiding unnecessary alienation. The most intelligent approach to socialization involves embracing both solitude and connection, choosing interactions wisely, adapting when necessary, and engaging meaningfully. By striking this balance, Intellectuals can navigate society without compromising their intelligence or mental well-being.